A cheerful good morning and a very warm welcome to each and every one of you present today in the science class. Before going ahead with today's class, again the same repeated instructions but necessary from your as well as from my point of view. As all of us we know that we are going through this pandemic situation, though little bit relaxation has been provided from the governments, and if you would have observed the results which have come or the outcomes of these relaxations is that is the number of cases are rising day by day, especially in the metropolitan cities like your Maharashtra, Bombay, or your Delhi, or you take the examples of your Gujarat as well. As a result of the increase in the number of cases, the schools which were open, basically 9 to 12 only, which were on a trial basis for a few days, again there are some of the news that is the schools are again being closed, or the lockdown can be imposed, especially in these cities I'm talking about, that is your Bombay, Maharashtra, or your basically your Delhi or your Gujarat. Okay, so especially since the number of cases are not decreasing here, or it is not still at a proper rate or at a proper number, so as a result of this we are getting into more and more trouble, and I request from each and every one of you to take precautions as well as prevent yourself from getting infected by this virus. Apart from this part, I would also request you to please, whenever you are going out with your parents, or whenever you are going wherever you come across with, what do we say, wherever the traffic lights or signals are there, that is your red lights or green lights are there. Okay, there you'll be able to find some of the messages which are being continuously said from the speakers, that is the initiative from the government, that is at each and every red lights or green lights you are able to hear the awareness regarding your COVID-19, in which they are constantly telling that this COVID has not gone, the vaccines have not yet arrived, and if it is going to come, then also it is going to be first delivered to the patients, then to the elder ones and the younger ones, and finally coming to the public, it is going to take a much more longer time. Okay, till that the initiatives are there, awareness is there to wear the mask, use sanitizers and everything, and also to create awareness among the peoples regarding this, but still nobody is following. Okay, I very well know this thing because I'm also going out and I'm able to observe this part. Okay, that is nobody is following the rules and regulations except for the few, that is out of the 100% if you take, so only 20 to 30% of the people they are having this awareness, or taking some initiative to spread this awareness either by wearing themselves or by saying, but the rest of the people they are least bothered about that. Okay, so let us forget about the this 70%, let us be a part of this 30% only. Okay, let us start with our today's class with a little bit recapitulation of what we have done in the last class. I would like to show you the glimpse of that, and thereafter we'll be going ahead with our today's class. If you remember, in the last class we have completed this chapter, that is your air and water. Apart from not only completing this chapter, we have also, if you remember, I explained you this distillation of water and also requested you to complete this part, that is, please write down the keywords in your copies and keep your work completed, so that today when we are going to start with the bookish exercises as well as the fair notebook part, so you are not going to be getting delayed, or your work will be on time as well. Okay, starting with this, so let us start with the bookish part first and the foremost thing. I hope the screen has been shared to you. Let us first open the exercises. Okay, the screen is shared, no problem with this part. Okay, let us see here. Let us answer the very first question here, that is the multiple choice question. In this case, what you are able to see is, that is, what is the percentage of nitrogen in the atmosphere? All of us we know that nitrogen is present in 78%. Which gas is needed for burning? Okay, so the correct answer in the first case will be your C, that is your 78%. In number 2, we have which gas is needed for burning. Okay, so this is your oxygen, as all of us we know. Okay, let us do one thing. Okay, instead of going through this directly, okay, what I'm going to do is, that is all of you have your books and copies as well as the pen and pencils. Please use pencils only. Okay, I request each and every one of you, I'm giving you just 1 minute time to complete this entire part, and thereafter we'll be going ahead, and I request you to first do it by yourself, and thereafter we'll be discussing the answers. Okay, so I'm giving you just 1 minute. It is already 5 minutes is going to be over, so I'm giving you the time interval from 6 minutes to 7 minutes. Please complete it. Exactly at 7 I'll be starting with this part and the discussion of this. Okay, please start with this. I'm sharing the screen to you. Please do it quickly. 2 we have already done. You just have to do 3, 4, 5. I don't think this is going to require 1 minute. I'm giving you 30 seconds for 3 questions. Okay, just do it fast. I hope you all would have completed. Please finish it fast. That is your 3rd, 4th and 5th. And after that we will be going ahead with the fill in the blanks. Complete it fast without wasting your time. Please mark the answers, whichever one you feel like, whatever you have studied from your past explanations. Don't be worried about the wrong things or the mistakes which you are going to do. Just complete it on time. That's it. I hope you all would have completed now. Let us start with this part. Okay. So first question, the correct option is C. That is your 78% of nitrogen is present in the atmosphere. Second one, we have the B option. That is oxygen gas is needed for burning. The third one we have is, that is which layer of atmosphere is closest to the surface of the earth. So if you remember, we have 4 different layers, and the very first layer is your, what is the first one? I hope it is the troposphere. Let us have a look over it. Okay, right. Okay, so the very first layer is your troposphere, followed by stratosphere, mesosphere, thermosphere and exosphere. Okay, so this troposphere is the correct option. That is, this is the layer which is very much closer to the surface of the earth, or you can say closest to the surface of the earth. Okay, so the correct option is your A part, troposphere. Next one we have, which layer of atmosphere absorbs the ultraviolet radiations from the sun. If you remember, this ultraviolet radiation is absorbed by our ozone layer, which is present in the next layer. That is your, that is, just now you all have seen stratosphere. Just have a look over it. If you remember, here we have discussed here, that is, in the case of stratosphere, we have one of the layers which is known as your ozone. This ozone layer is able to protect the harmful UV radiations of the sun, and thereby they are able to protect us from this harmful radiations, and also preventing these harmful radiations from directly falling on the surface of the earth. Okay, so this ozone layer is present in the stratosphere. That is our next layer, followed by the last question of this. Take the correct answers. Which layer of the atmosphere merges with the space? So merges with the space is your last layer, because above the 4th layer you have the space only. Okay, so this last layer is nothing but your exosphere. Okay, if you remember this part, exosphere, the exosphere merges with the outer space. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5th layer. Okay, and most of the satellites orbiting the earth are located in this layer. Is that clear? Let us go ahead with fill in the blanks. Again, we are going to follow the same method. I'm just going to give you 1 minute for this. Your time starts now. Please complete it fast. Finish it fast. 20 seconds for one fill in the blanks. Think, try to find it out if you don't know the answers, and write it down fast. The time is about to be over. Please finish it fast. It is already about 30 seconds to be getting over. That's it already. The time is up now. Please stop writing and please now just match your answers, whatever you have written, and let us quickly check it and complete it, this one as well. Okay, so this is the first one, that is plants grow in the dash layer of the atmosphere. Okay, when we are talking about the atmosphere, so this is what? Okay, this is, we are talking about the plants which are present on the surface of the earth. Okay, and if you remember, the surface of the earth is in close contact with the troposphere. Okay, because we have this layer of the atmosphere only. So plants grow in the troposphere layer of the atmosphere. That is the very first layer of the atmosphere. Next one we have, so all those who have written right answer, please praise yourself by your own. I'm not in front of you. Nobody is in front of you to feel shy or to feel proud, both the things. Okay, let us start with the next one. The layer of the atmosphere just above the mesosphere is, okay, so if you remember, first one was troposphere followed by stratosphere, then we have the mesosphere, because this mesosphere, if you remember, it is there in the middle, as you can just remember it by M for middle and meso for mesosphere. Okay, so this is basically, if you see here, mesosphere is in the middle, 2 layers above the mesosphere and 2 layers below the mesosphere. That is your stratosphere and troposphere below it, thermosphere and exosphere above it. Okay, next, so the layer which is followed by your above the mesosphere is your thermosphere. Okay, the layer of the atmosphere just below the exosphere, just now we have discussed, that is the one which is present above the mesosphere, and the one which is present below the exosphere is thermosphere only. Both the answers will be your thermosphere. Next, moving ahead, filtration removes dash impurities from water. Okay, if you remember, in the case of filtration, I have told you that is filtration is done only when we want to separate the insoluble impurities. Okay, so in the case of this filtration process, whatever the insoluble impurities are present, all these insoluble impurities are settled at the bottom, and therefore we are able to separate it by the process of filtration. Okay, in this part, if you remember, either by using the muslin cloth, or by using the beaker, or by using the cotton cloth. Moving ahead, so here will be filtration removes the insoluble impurities from water. Last is dash is the purest form of water. What is that? Okay, if you remember, dash is the purest form. What is that? Water vapor is the purest form of water, or distilled water is the purest form of water, because this distilled water is formed by the water vapor only. Okay, so here the correct answer, just write it down, distilled water, as it has been given in your book. Okay, let us go ahead with this part as well. Let us have a quick view over the time and thereafter. All right, it's 14:40, 14 minutes past. 15 to 16 minutes is for your circle the odd one out, the next part. Okay, just please have a look and complete it fast. Circle the odd one out questions. 4 questions, 1 minute 25 seconds for one. Circle the odd one out. I hope this one you will be able to do it within 30 seconds only. Please finish it fast. 10 seconds over. That's it. I cannot give you more time than this one, okay, as we have to done the next one also. Circle the odd one out. Here we have been given all the layers are of the atmosphere except for one, that is your oxygen. So troposphere, oxygen, exosphere, mesosphere and thermosphere, all are the layers of the atmosphere except your one, that is your oxygen, which is a gas. Moving ahead in the next one, we have nitrogen, carbon dioxide, oxygen, plants and water vapor. If you remember, except for plants, all are the gaseous forms or the gases basically. So here the plants will be the odd one out. Next we have mustard seeds, pebbles, rice grains, sugar and glass beads. Here what we are able to see is that mustard seeds, pebbles, rice grains and your glass beads, they are insoluble particles, whereas sugar is a soluble material. Okay, so this sugar will be the odd one out. The last one we have boiling, chlorination, sedimentation and condensation. Boiling, chlorination and condensation are related to the purification of water, but sedimentation includes, okay, sedimentation is the process for removing or whatever the heavy particles, insoluble particles are there, they are being removed by the process of sedimentation, whereas boiling, chlorination and condensation are used for removing the soluble impurities of water. Next one, D part. Okay, finish it fast. 30 seconds for this one as well. Okay, see the time interval, I'm showing you again and again. It's 17:27. Finish it fast by 18. 30 seconds starts. Over. Let us have a quick see here. Starting with the first one, we have here, that is which gases change into its useful form by the roots of the pea and bean plants. Okay, so if you remember, these pea and bean plants, they are being basically used in the process of your nitrogen fixation. If you remember here, when we discussed about the different components of the environment, so we have discussed about the nitrogen. Okay, so here what you are able to see, that is plants need nitrogen to grow. However, all plants cannot use the nitrogen, so only some plants such as pea and beans can convert atmospheric nitrogen to a useful form. Next one, which gas is needed by green plants to make their food? All of us we know, that is your carbon dioxide. Carbon dioxide is needed by all green plants to make their food. I have shown you the equation of photosynthesis as well. Okay, next we have which gas acts like a shield and protects us from the harmful UV radiations of the sun. Just now we have discussed, this is your ozone gas, which is present in the stratosphere. Okay, this ozone, it acts like a shield and protects us from the harmful UV radiations of the sun. The second last we have, name one substance that is soluble in water. You have plenty of examples, anything you can write. You can write one substance, anything, sugar, salt or any other substance, whichever one you feel like. Okay, lemon, as well as in liquids, solids or anything. Even the gases also you can write. That is, if you remember in your cold drinks, whatever that effervescence you observe, that is just because of carbon dioxide which is present in that. Okay, so you can write that as one. Okay, next we have, which chemical is commonly added to disinfect water at home? Okay, when we are talking about the chemical to disinfect water at home, so basically we have discussed about chlorine only. Let us see what if we have something else here. Iodine as well. Okay, iodine as well as the chlorine are the two things making water fit for drinking. We also this filter material, all of you know. Okay, can we have some of the chemicals here? No. We don't have here. Okay, it is purified at the water treatment plant, sedimentation and chlorination before being supplied. Let us go for the answers also. This is your bookish part exercises. Let us see here, what is that? Chlorine is the correct answer. Okay, moving ahead with this. Okay, write short answers for this. Okay, let us have a quick discussion over this one as well, as we are running short of time. We have to complete this chapter today anyhow. So what are the different components of air? So if you remember, we have different components of air like your nitrogen, oxygen, carbon dioxide, okay, as well as other gases. So these are the components of air: nitrogen, oxygen, okay, then we have carbon dioxide, water vapor, dust and everything, other gases and everything. Okay, sulfur dioxide, methane, nitrogen, plenty of them. These are just few. Okay, moving ahead with the next part. Since it is telling short answers, so we'll be just mentioning the this part, that is basically the names with a little bit introduction of it. List 2 reasons why we need oxygen. We need oxygen to remain survive. Okay, and at the same time we need oxygen for burning as well. Okay, why is the mesosphere important to us? Okay, let me show you the answers as well, which you are going to write it down. I have prepared that one as well. This is for your entire word part, which you will be discussing, which you'll be getting it today itself or tomorrow. This one. Okay, so these are the different components. Why we need oxygen, needed for burning and for breathing. Why is mesosphere important to us? Because it burns and destroys the meteors that enter the atmosphere from space before they strike the Earth's surface. Number 4, we have, how does boiling make water fit for drinking? By killing all the germs which might be present and also removing the soluble impurities like your calcium and magnesium. If you remember, removing by converting some of the soluble impurities into insoluble ones, and also by killing the germs. Okay, these soluble impurities, after getting insoluble, they settle or attach themselves to the walls of the container. Next one we have, what is chlorination of water? How does boiling make water fit? This we have done. What is chlorination of water? So chlorination of water is nothing but disinfecting water by using chlorine as a chemical to kill any kind of germs or impurities, or to disinfect water to make it potable water or fit for drinking water. Okay, this is your chlorination of water basically. Next we have, what is distilled water? What are its uses? Okay, when we are talking about the distilled water, so distilled water is the pure form of water. It is used in science laboratories and in car batteries. Okay, next one we have, answer these questions. List any 3 uses of nitrogen used by the plants. First, all of us we know, okay, to make fertilizers. It is also used to keep packaged food fresh, and it is also liquid nitrogen is very cold, so it is used in laboratories, blood banks and food storage units to keep items frozen. Next one we have number 2. So number 2 we have, show with the help of an experiment that air occupies space. This is the experiment. Just simply take a balloon, blow air into it, and you will see that the size of the balloon increases, indicating us, showing us that this is necessary for this air occupies space. If you remember this activity which we have done, blowing air into the balloon, this part, activity number 2. Okay, as a result of which the balloon gets inflated. Show with the help of an. Okay, next is, why is water important? If 70% of the earth's surface is covered with water, why do we need to save water? Why is water important? If you know, here we have seen importance of water. Okay, importance. Okay, in the very properties only. Okay, water can dissolve many things with it. Okay, here it is the importance of water, that is all living organisms on earth need water to survive. Now, out of this 70% of the earth, most of the water is present in the form of salty water. That is why we are not able to consume this water, and that is why we face shortage of water in spite of having 70% of the earth's surface covered with water. Next we have, list the different methods used to remove soluble and insoluble impurities from water. Explain sedimentation and decantation. So the different methods to use soluble. See, soluble impurities, all of us we have seen, boiling as well as chlorination. Okay, insoluble impurities, sedimentation and decantation, as well as your filtration. Sedimentation and decantation, already we can explain it from here as well. Sorry. Here it is. This is the activity to explain the sedimentation of and your decantation as well in this part. Okay. Next, if you go ahead, explain the process of distillation with the help of a label diagram. Give an example of distilled water found in nature. Okay. So if you see here, so this is the complete diagram to show the distillation of water, and you'll be drawing this diagram in front of this answer. Okay. And how it is done, it is the purest form. To obtain distilled water, water is allowed to boil, it changes, and all these process you will be writing. The answer has been provided to you. And the dew drops which is seen on the leaves of the plants early in the morning are example of the distilled water found in nature. Okay. Next, think and answer. What would have happened to life on the earth if there was no ozone layer in the atmosphere? Then life would not have been possible, because all this all this harmful UV radiations, they would be reaching the surface of the earth directly, and thereby making this planet not suitable for survival. Okay, if you see here this part, ultraviolet, nothing could stop entering the surface, and they are very harmful for living beings. Prolonged exposure may also lead to skin cancers. Next one we have. Next question we have here. Second one, we know that air has mass and we have thick layer of air above us. Why don't we feel the mass of this air? Okay, that is just because the air, it exerts pressure on us, but the air present in our body also exerts an equal amount of pressure back. Because of this balance of this pressure, we cannot feel the mass of the air on ourselves. Next we have, doctors advise us to drink at least 2 to 3 liters of water every day. Why? Water removes toxins and other waste products from our body through our excretory system. That is, whenever you are removing the solid waste or the liquid waste from your body, that is urination. In that case, this water is helping us. This also keeps our kidneys clean. Water is also an important constituent of blood. It helps the blood to flow properly through our body. If you remember, I told you one of the component of blood is plasma, which is containing a lot amount of water as well. Okay, this was all in the case of H. Let us see first what is H there. Okay, here it is. In the given figure, draw all the layers of the atmosphere, color each layer using a different color and label it. Write 1 key features of each layer. Okay, this would be given here. So here you'll be drawing that figure which is given in the book, and the key features have been already provided to you. Troposphere, cloud formation, weather changes. Here if you can see, the little bit in a hurry, the O has been capital here. please make it a small only. The stratosphere protects us from the harmful ultraviolet radiations. Mesosphere burns and destroys the meteors. Thermosphere, space shuttles orbit. Exosphere, most of the satellites orbiting the Earth. Okay, that's all. Okay, I'm showing you the diagrams. 2 diagrams are there. Please don't forget that. One of them is this one, which you will be drawing by different layers. Each layer, that is troposphere, this Earth surface you are going to make. After that, this up to troposphere you'll be drawing with a different color, followed by this stratosphere, next one mesosphere, and your thermosphere. Okay, so this was all for today, and one more diagram was there that was related to distillation, which I have already told you. Already we have crossed our time period, that is limit for the class. So now we are going to end up, and tomorrow we are going to have the Zoom class, that is on Tuesday. So please, all of you, be ready with your fair notebooks. Please try to complete it. I'll be providing you these things in your school app. Everything will be uploaded. Please try to complete it as soon as possible. I would be seeing virtually your fair copies as well. Okay, that's all for today. Thanks a lot for being with me, and have a superb day ahead. And please don't forget to take all the necessary precautions as well. Okay, thank you.